and they're trying to see if this is a catch or not, and you see it sliding out from Quincy Morgan.
But what Butch Davis is going to argue is that it's too late. It's too late. Fortunately, those bottles are plastic. But these Cleveland fans are irate. And they're trying to clear the end zone.
December 16th, 2001. A date that shook the NFL to its core.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt.
The most embarrassing day in NFL history was unveiled in Bottlegate, when a controversial call by the officials led to a riot in the stands at Cleveland Browns Stadium. Fans clash, bottles fly, and the game hangs by a thread.
Stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourselves by throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room, and Butch Davis is speechless.
This isn't just a documentary. It's an unfiltered journey into the dark side of football that will leave you breathless and questioning the very safety of the game you love.
Thrown out of, oh, look at this. This is why what happened in Cleveland yesterday was such a disgrace.
On this fateful day, the city of Cleveland, Ohio was brimming with anticipation. The iconic Cleveland Browns Stadium, now First Energy Stadium, emerged as the battleground for an epic showdown.
And so forget the potential grounding call, which I thought the Jags were going after originally. They were saying Quincy Morgan was juggling.
The teams about to clash were none other than the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Forget the potential grounding call, which I thought the Jags were going after originally. They were saying Quincy Morgan was juggling that ball. And I actually think he was. You have to have guts. You have to have possession.
This game wasn't just another regular season matchup. It was a battle with high stakes. Both teams were vying for a coveted playoff spot, and every play carried immense weight. For the Cleveland Browns, a franchise that had recently returned to the NFL after a 3-year hiatus, this game held special significance.
1999 Cleveland Browns!
It was an opportunity to prove themselves as a force to be reckoned with and cement their comeback in the hearts of their fans. The Browns found themselves trailing behind the Jaguars as the clock ticked down. Their season hung in the balance, and they fought tooth and nail to seize victory from the jaws of defeat.
Then a fake end around, then a screen pass to the near side. Now watch there, you see a Sean O'Hara block Danny Clark back to the
The Jaguars slam the door, and the Browns have...
Every pass, every tackle, and every touchdown became crucial in their pursuit of triumph. As the game progressed, the tension in the stadium reached a fever pitch. Every play became crucial, with both teams aware that the outcome could have far-reaching consequences for their season. The clock ticked away, amplifying the pressure on every decision made by players and coaches alike.
Tremendous job to hang on to the football. Gets the first down, clock still running.
Now just spike the ball. Don't even waste the play. Or maybe they're even calling a play.
And he spikes.
In the final moments before the disputed play, the Browns found themselves trailing the Jaguars by a narrow margin. Desperate to mount a comeback and secure a victory, the Browns offense orchestrated a remarkable drive, showcasing resilience and precision.
You say, well, it wasn't good enough. They lost the game.
A lot of guys feel that way, Don.
Now to the run, Fred Taylor, who so many times shoots into a...
The crowd was on their feet, willing their team to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. It was against this background of mounting anticipation that the controversial play unfolded. A pivotal moment that would forever be etched in the memories of those who witnessed the match and go down in NFL history as one of the most contentious and talked about incidents to date.
Rushing in the second half, 28 yards in the first half. Taylor. Hard hit
But to truly understand the magnitude of the disputed play, you must first grasp the gravity of the game's crucial moments that led up to that fateful juncture.
He was juggling the ball. And what Butch Davis is saying right now is we ran another play. And like I said, in the history of replay, Gus, once another play, I've never seen them go back and say we're replaying another play.
The situation was tense and precarious for the Cleveland Browns as they found themselves trailing the Jacksonville Jaguars with a score of 15-10 and only 1 minute and 8 seconds left on the game clock. A touchdown would give them the win, even without the conversion point, but a field goal wouldn't be enough. The outcome of this game held significant playoff implications for both teams, intensifying the pressure on the Browns to stage a comeback.
They say this is an incomplete pass.
Boy, I don't know. He had those 2 feet down. Then you see the ball coming out.
But what the fans...
In a desperate attempt to keep their hopes alive, Browns quarterback Tim Couch completed a pass to wide receiver Quincy Morgan for a 3-yard gain. The completion brought a glimmer of hope to the Browns and their fans as it moved them closer to a potential game-winning touchdown.
One of those fake spike
I thought he was going to do that.
It looked like
a la Peyton Manning earlier this year against New Orleans.
And you know what? What the Jags are saying, when his arm came forward, you actually have one chance to spike it. They're saying that's a fumble.
As the clock continued to wind down, the officials on the field decided to review the play due to its potential impact on the outcome of the game. The review process aimed to ensure that the call on the field was accurate and fair.
Replay buzzed prior to the snap. We'll be looking to see if the last pass...
To the shock and dismay of the Browns and their supporters, the officials made a controversial ruling after the review. They determined that Quincy Morgan had fumbled the ball during the completion and the Jacksonville Jaguars had recovered it. This ruling effectively ended the Browns' drive and shattered their playoff hopes in an instant.
Stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt.
The immediate fan reaction to the officials' controversial ruling was nothing short of explosive. A mix of anger, frustration, and disbelief engulfed the stadium as the realization sunk in that the Browns' comeback hopes had been abruptly dashed. The roar of the crowd turned into a cacophony of boos, jeers, and passionate protests. Fans, who had been holding their breath in anticipation of a potential game-winning drive, now vented their outrage, unable to comprehend how such a crucial call could go against their beloved team. What the fans were upset with is that the Browns were able to get to the line of scrimmage and run another play, but then the officials went back 2 plays and made the ruling that there was a malfunction with the communications system between the replay officials in the booth and the officials on the field.
The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourself by throwing stuff.
As tensions escalated, some fans took their frustration to alarming levels, resorting to throwing objects onto the field.
Miscommunication and a problem with the replay system
may have cost the Cleveland Browns a chance to go to the playoffs.
You've got to communicate and let everybody know what's going on.
So the game stopped.
The precise objects varied, but videos indicate that beer bottles, cups, and other debris were hurled in a display of collective anger and defiance.
People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourself by throwing stuff on the field.
The dangerous act of throwing objects not only posed a threat to players and officials, but also added to the chaotic and volatile atmosphere.
And now they're going to call the game.
That is the end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was the right
48 seconds to go.
Yeah, you got to.
The situation quickly spiraled out of control as the pandemonium spread throughout the stands. Security personnel and stadium officials scrambled to restore order, but the magnitude of the fan reaction made it a daunting task. The field became littered with projectiles, forcing players and officials to seek shelter and protection.
And these officials really need to get off the field.
And you know what? The fans got to stop throwing crap. We just saw a guy get hit in the head and he's down, split his head wide open. The fans have got to control themselves. People are getting hurt. It's ridiculous. You're only hurting yourselves by throwing stuff on the field.
And now they're going to call
That
the
is
game.
the end of the game.
Unbelievable. Now they call the game.
Well, that was
with
the right
48
call.
seconds to go.
Faced with escalating fan behavior, the officials made a crucial decision to end the game prematurely due to safety concerns. After a few minutes of waiting for the crowd to settle, the field had become littered with bottles and debris. Referee Terry McCauley, recognizing the escalating danger, made an unsportsmanlike conduct hand signal directed at the crowd and sternly announced, "That is the end of the game." With 48 seconds left on the clock, this unprecedented decision sent shockwaves throughout the stadium.
Go by the referees today.
Well, that was the right call. You got to end the game. If the fans are throwing crap on the field.
Especially when you consider how big of a game this was for the Cleveland Browns. This is ridiculous.
As McCauley's announcement echoed through the air, the players, coaches, and officials began to sprint off the field, seeking safety from the raining projectiles. The expressions on their faces revealed a mixture of disbelief and confusion as they struggled to process the sudden turn of events. Meanwhile, the spectators, caught in a whirlwind of emotions, displayed a range of feelings, from frustration to disappointment, from rage to astonishment. The scene that unfolded was one of disarray as people grappled with the unprecedented situation they had just witnessed. During this chaotic exodus, the actions of a few unruly fans marred the atmosphere further. Announcers Johnson and Jones, reporting on the unfolding events, witnessed the disturbing sight of an unspecified person being struck by a thrown object described as either a Sony Walkman or a CD player. It was getting bloody.
The referees are claiming, this is what the referees are claiming from replay, is that they were saying they were blowing the ball dead. The ball was being snapped. And from what we've seen on our replays,
after a while, NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue got in touch with McCauley and let him know that his officials did not have the power to call a game off early and that it had to go on as scheduled. The players in the locker room, many of whom were already undressed and taking showers, were informed by the officials that they had to return to the field. Over 20 minutes had passed since the disputed fourth down play when all of the players and officials finally arrived back on the field. By the way, we invite you to check out the great sports story highlighted at the top right.
What an ending. Jacksonville wins 15-10. A controversial ending here in Cleveland. Coming up.
With the game back in play, the Browns seized the chance to mount one final offensive push. The tension reached its peak as they aimed to breach the Jaguars' resolute defense and find the end zone. But the Jaguars made two kneel downs and the game ended with a 15-10 score. McCauley maintained his assertion that the booth buzzed in before the spike play after the game.
By throwing stuff on the field.
And the officials are pummeled as they head into the locker room, and Butch Davis is speechless. He doesn't know what.
The immediate aftermath of the Bottlegate incident thrust the event into the national spotlight, garnering extensive media coverage. News outlets scrambled to cover the chaos and analyze the sequence of events. The controversial ruling, the ensuing fan reaction, and the decision to end the game prematurely became the focal points of discussions among sports analysts, journalists, and fans across the country. The incident triggered a widespread debate about fan conduct, referee accountability, and the role of instant replay in the game. Media outlets featured interviews with players, coaches, and officials, providing different perspectives on the incident. The national attention placed a microscope on the Browns, the Jaguars, and the NFL as a whole, prompting further scrutiny of the rules, protocols, and measures in place to ensure the smooth and safe conduct of professional football games.
May have cost the Cleveland Browns a chance to go to the playoffs.
You've got to communicate and let everybody know what's going on.
So the game stopped with 48 seconds left on a call that I'm sure will be talked about in Cleveland for probably the next 6 months.
The Bottlegate incident remained a prominent topic in sports conversations for weeks as investigations and reviews sought to shed light on the events and address the concerns raised. The incident catalyzed changes in stadium security measures and reinforced the importance of maintaining a respectful and safe environment for all those involved in the game. The repercussions for the Browns organization in the aftermath of Bottlegate were significant. The NFL levied fines against the team for the conduct of its fans, particularly regarding the throwing of objects onto the field. The Browns organization was fined $25,000, and team owner Al Lerner was fined an additional $250,000. Furthermore, the Browns had to forfeit their first-round draft pick in the following year's draft as a result of the incident. The fines served as a financial penalty and a reminder of the responsibility the organization holds to maintaining a safe and respectful environment for all attendees.
It's early December.
Yeah,
when they
early
play.
December. They're still in the hunt for the postseason.
And they're definitely in the hunt in this particular game. And then Bottlegate happens.
You remember these images, Jimmy? Yeah, I mean, the Browns are coming down the field trying.
Bottlegate had a profound impact on stadium security policies and fan behavior regulations in the NFL.
And then, upon further review, the next day, they have to have a press conference again to clean it up.
The incident highlighted the need for enhanced security measures to prevent similar situations from occurring in the future. Stadiums across the league reviewed and strengthened their security protocols, implementing stricter guidelines and measures to identify and address unruly fan behavior promptly. Although the Bottlegate incident was undoubtedly a source of embarrassment for the Browns organization, the situation was further compounded when Browns owner Al Lerner and President Carmen Policy made statements during the media rounds that sparked controversy and further embarrassment for the team.
As I said, I'm not criticizing our fans at all.
Why not?
Because I don't think it's appropriate today.
It wasn't pleasant, I wouldn't, but it wasn't World War III. I don't see any terrible criticism that would be called for the fans. I think everybody controlled themselves considering.
And there you have it, the gripping story of Bottlegate, a day that forever etched itself into the annals of NFL history. Over time, Bottlegate has become a part of the Browns' lore, woven into the tapestry of the team's history. It serves as a reminder of the challenges faced and the lessons learned, both on and off the field. The incident has become a defining moment in the team's narrative, serving as a testament to the passion of Browns fans and their unwavering dedication through triumphs and tribulations. It remains a vivid chapter in NFL history, a cautionary tale that reminds us of the passion, the controversy, and the human element that make the game of football both thrilling and unpredictable. The officials' ruling on Quincy Morgan's fumble and the Jaguars' recovery remains a contentious point of debate, sparking discussions about the reliability of instant replay, the interpretation of the rules, and the impact of such calls on the integrity of the game.
Was more kind and considerate and loving for the first month or two, but obviously...
Now we turn to you. What are your thoughts on this controversial incident? Do you believe the game could have unfolded differently? Share your insights, opinions, and perspectives in the comments section below.
Look at the replay. It looks like Quincy Morgan was still juggling the ball. It was actually sliding down his leg.
We value your engagement and look forward to hearing your thoughts.
And it's getting ugly here in Cleveland.
But before you go, don't forget to click at the top right to watch a related video from our channel, keeping you immersed in the world of captivating sports documentaries. And speaking of captivating stories, in our next documentary, we'll dive into the journey of Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I remember Linehan at the time used to tell me, it's not this easy. This isn't the way it normally goes. And I'm like, yeah, unless I'm the quarterback.
From his humble beginnings to gridiron glory. Thank you for joining us. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and have a great day.